Now, for the Global Talent Program or National Visa Program, Subclass 858. Now, the most striking change between the Global Talent and National Innovation Visa is that you must lodge your visa application within 60 days, within 2 months after your invitation is received. So important for you to really figure out that part. You must really consider of lodging within 60 days, and it's unlikely they're going to give you another invitation if you did not lodge So if you really receive invitation, you must get nomination. You must get nominated if you did not have one. As soon as possible, you have to find a nominator. Now, connecting nominator, this is really important skill and very important information you must provide for the visa application stage. So you cannot provide the nominator after your visa is lodged. Okay, you must provide on the form and provide the form 100 at the time of visa application. How do you find suitable nominators? This is a really good question. And then the way I do is really reaching out potential nominator via LinkedIn. It's very straightforward. And I ask them if they're willing to help. And I ask them if I'm ready to review. The first, of course, contact will be your friends, colleagues, ex-managers, or connections, social connections, right? Just figure out someone, it must be, and who can be nominated. Someone must be in your industry, and they must know you, know your work, which means they're in your industry, and they must be having national reputation. When we're asking that, the nominator must provide passport, copy of passport, Department of Affairs, and they must provide supporting evidence to prove their standards to your email account. So, when you communicate with nominator, you must tell them, brief them the requirement, what evidence they have to provide to the department on that. So, you have to obtain, formal kind of permission from them to upload their passport to the email account. Now, some of the nominators, you might have issues here. After you lodge your visa application, now some of the nominator, and then you're being requested by providing supporting documents from nominator, and the nominator refused to do so. So what can you do that? Now, I just want to make sure that if you really focus on that part, you must really think about getting permission from nominator first. They must understand the requirements that they must understand they have to support your application during the whole process. Okay, not just fill out form and then they don't answer the department phone call, they don't reply to department email address, emails. And that's really not a good idea to do that, which I normally don't recommend. I want the nominator to provide all supporting documents before visa lodgement, because if they refuse at a later stage, then you have difficulty to do that. Now, what happens, some of them, you are after you lodge a visa application. This is very different to a global talent. So for the National Innovation Visa, once you lodge your visa application, is that possible you change your nominator? It is possible, okay? You do not withdraw it, because if you say, oh my gosh, I received a Section 56 request asking me to provide nominator information like that passport and the evidence of employment, that reputation, but my previous nominator refused to do so. What am I going to do? Can I withdraw? Because I don't want a refusal. Don't withdraw. Why? Because once you withdraw, the EOI, my invitation code, might already been, just make sure that it's still within valid date. So what you need to do is really find a more suitable nominator who's willing to be your second nominator, and asking Home Affairs before they grant your visa, they say, I want you to consider my second nominator as a finite nominator. Of course, at this time, you must provide all supporting documents, such as Form 100, nominator passports, nominator supporting evidence, their national reputation. So that part is important. Now, we might have questions of some of that ask me, what do you think about having if the department going to contact them, Home Affairs going to contact my nominator, we need to tell the nominator, even this is unlikely, you need to be prepared to answer the calls. You need, because we don't say chance. Even I say chance to you, it doesn't mean that you have, you won't be, the nominator won't be receiving calls. When they are providing documents Home Affairs, it is assumed they must answer queries, which means they might call. Home Affairs might call your nominator. They might send an email to them. So they need to monitor their emails closely. You must give them this kind of brief, so at least they are aware, not just cut off everybody's phone. You don't even know. If someone say, hey, I'm calling from Home Affairs, you cut off phone, say this is spam. So just remind me, Home Affairs might call you, and then they will not just penalize the spam. They will say who I am, and a case officer, what's my name, and this is relating to client's full name. They will tell you that. They will have information. They will give you the information first, and they will confirm, am I calling to someone? And they will confirm, did you sign a form? They will say, yeah, I did. And then case officer will ask you, say, hey, I just would like to understand the form. Are you aware of the content? Right? If the nominator are, of course, aware. Now they just ask, how did you know the person? Right? Why do you think they are suitable to be invited? The nominator can just say, well, you have done assessment. Home Affairs, it's your job to make sure. But from my personal opinion, I think the candidate is very good because such. And because his qualification, because his experience, because his salary, I think he can make contribution greatly to a share. And I'm very confident. I'm happy to support his application, right? So in terms of visa application process, the nominator don't need to say too details about how this assessment is done. And so how this assessment is done. So it's most important part of work, really focusing on how the supporting documents are gathered. These will include their identification, really need to show that Australia permanent resident visa holder, and that passport. Now, if they're Australian citizen, mostly department will have access to the information, but it doesn't mean that if they're not willing to provide, that will be problematic, right? They say, okay, this is too sensitive. Now, if this is the situation, then you perhaps wanting to ask the nominator to send emails to Home Affairs directly if they believe this is too sensitive information. Now okay, now if you don't know the email address on Home Affairs, when the nominator provides supporting documents, then just ask questions below, and we'll provide documents there, email links there. Now, another question for relating to nominator, it's about first question, how am I going to approach it, and why are they going to support me? Now, first of all, it's really related to when you ask for someone's favor, you must tell them what exactly it is. And it will give a reason. If you ask, can I ask your favor? Can you help? That's no problem. But you have to explain to them what is the visa program and why you're applying and what kind of document you provide. And then the reason you think you will need their support because I don't know anyone, and then this is the person I connected with you. So basically, if you don't know anyone, right? Does that mean that, oh, you're not going to lodge a visa application? No. If you even don't know anyone, you need to ask connections, professional support, right? From professional body, from service providers, ask them to help you to link with someone. The reason why this application requires someone's connection, it's really they want to know, once you got permanent visa approval, are you able to find a job? If you don't know anyone, I think it's going to be really hard, right? At least you have a connection there. They can you can reach out to them once you're here. So this is really about establishment, how you're going to establish yourself in Australia. I hope this one helps you. If you have any question, please leave a comment below. Simply fill out a form online and then we'll reach back.